God doesn't make mistakes, so maybe you're meant to hear this message. Jesus Christ existed. Too many people think of him as a myth, but he was a real man who lived in a real time, and there's records of him outside of the church. It's not about whether he was on earth, it's about whether you believe he was God. So when we look at the story, you've got that he lived and died and was buried, and then there's an empty tomb. These things are facts. There's more written evidence about Jesus than there is of Aristotle or Plato, and we just accept them as real people. So he lived, but whether he was God, then you need to go down the logic path of he had 12 disciples, and when he got arrested, they ran. They were terrified. They didn't want to get arrested, so they ran away. But then after he was buried and the tomb was empty, these same men suddenly went out proclaiming that Jesus Christ was God. He rose from the dead. And they did this in Jerusalem. Jerusalem back then was like 240 acres. It was a small area. You could walk to where the tomb was. So they didn't go somewhere far away to start to proclaim this gospel that a man rose from the dead. They did it in this small place. So they're like, the tomb's empty, he rose from the dead, and people could go and check. They also knew that that tomb was guarded by Roman soldiers. So there was an empty tomb, and then these men took that gospel and that truth to their death with no personal gain in it at all on this earth. You got to ask yourself why they changed. Why did they run in fear of getting arrested, yet suddenly take this truth to the death? And that there's an empty grave. There's enough logic in it that you do need to have a look. I think it's worth having a look. But of course, I believe he's God. He has touched my life. He's changed me. He's changed the way that I am. He's changed the way that I see things. And he's made me a better man. And he's made changes that I could not do on my own. So I pray that this touches someone today and they give it a chance. Take a leap of faith. Pick up the Bible. Have a read. And see the good and loving God he is. I love you all, and God bless.